The broadcast is now live. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of season 2. Wow, we 10 episodes in season 2. This is crazy. Of Brown and Balance Live. I'm your humble host, Josh Davis. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. It's the best day of the week, right? It's Brown and Balance Day. And this episode, we got some heat coming. I don't know if you guys remember back in season 1, I used to always say for everyone, always surround yourself, especially us brothers, surround yourself with strong, ambitious, smart, just amazing black women. And we have 2 amazing black women that are going to lead our show off today. And then we're going to go all the way to the West Coast, and we're going to talk to one of my closest, dearest friends today as our featured bartender. I'm not going to say names now. We'll get to them, and y'all know who they are when we do it. But as always, the way we kick off the show every month, week, we do it. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Arrest Breonna Taylor's killers. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. Everyone else that we've lost in the last year and a half. The names aren't going to die just because media doesn't talk about it as much anymore. If you see my hashtag, I change my name every episode. I could be Jelani Day. Rest in peace to that young man and his family. If you don't know who he is, Google it. It's not my job to educate anybody on these things. Before we get going though into the real show, I just want to really just take a minute. I gotta get personal. Y'all remember I've gotten personal throughout the years, but this one's really special. Y'all hear me all the time talk about Campari, and I talk about my Lush Life family, and I talk about everybody who's had their hands in and who behind the scenes helped me out with Brown and Balance. But I have to send a very, very, very special congratulations and a very man, this is my BFF on the team, man. So shout out to Brittany Leach, who is now Brittany Johnson. So I had to throw this up. This is one of the last times we saw each other before quarantine and everything happened. But Brittany got married last weekend, and due to a unfortunate situation, I was unable to make the wedding. I got injured. Leg was up, but doing better now. But I really want to send a very, very special shout out to Brittany. She's the key that turns this engine on that keeps Brown and Balance going. I know everybody plays a part. Shout out to the whole squad, Dave, Leo, Lindsay, Liz, Amanda with all the dope graphics, the dope social media. But this lady right here is the reason why I'm able to do this stuff. She yells at me. She keeps me in line, but she's my consigliere. Great advice, does everything for me, on behind the scenes to talk to the guests, to organize things, and I just really want to send her a major congratulations. Tell Jesse, don't get mad at me because I'm not going to call you Johnson for a while. You're always going to be Brittany Leach to me, but I really wanted to really just throw this out there and just say thank you for everything you're doing, everything you've done, doing, and will do in the future. This is the only person who's been at every Brown, literally every single one since July 31st of 2017. So, if you're watching, I don't care where you're watching, if you're on PDX, if you're on Brown and Balance, wherever you are, jump in them comments. Send my best friend a very, very special congratulations on her getting married. Like my man Gene said, somebody bought the cow because the milk ain't free no more. So shout out to Brittany, all right? So now let's get to the show, guys. You already know what we're going to do. Campari community. My super producer's going to put it on the screen. Brittany Johnson, I'm going to call that just for today, is probably going to put this same website right there, that's the Splash That website, into the comments. You guys follow them on Instagram. They hit their website, sign up to their mailing list. I just got some more stuff in the mail from them. I'm really excited every time I get a package and it says Campari on it because I know I'm going to get something that I really need. Last time we did Brown and Balance, episode 9 was dope. It was the Black Owners segment. It was all Black people that own their own businesses. And we was coming off of an unfortunate loss in the Spirit Awards, but shout out to my team again because they sent me this. We didn't get the plate from the other ones, but we the only crew. We make our own plates and we do our own thing. So in true Brown and Balance fashion, this is my Spirit Award from them. Shout out to the team for sending me that. All right. So with all that out of the way, let's get Josh as much off the screen and let's get to these guests. So my first guest is dope. I'm just gonna say she's dope. She's amazing. I've been following her movement for a long time. I can't wait to hear her story. As far as I know, it's like the only Black whiskey blender that I know, and she's an amazing Black woman on top of that. So, let's get to it. Eboni Major, can I get you on the screen?
What's happening? Hi, how are you?
I mean, I'm good. It's a wonderful day, even though it's raining outside. It's a good day. But we having some fun here. How are you?
I'm good. It's cold and raining here too, but I'm excited. This is my first live event in maybe a year. So,
Um,
dusting my shoulders off, but I'm ready. I'm excited to be here with Brown and Balance.
no, I'm excited to have you. Like I said, I've been following what you do for a long time. So, I ain't gonna overtalk it. I'd rather have you tell everybody what's the Ebony Major story.
Yeah. So, what is the Ebony Major story? I can't curse, but I'm a
You touch a little bit. Let's not
a
get
little
too,
bit. I'm a
what I mean?
badass whiskey blender.
That's what
That's
I'm
how
talking
you say it. I for the short, I tell people I smell and taste whiskey for a living, but it's a lot more to it. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of science. It's a lot of dedication and training your nose and your senses to really be able to detect any nuances in the whiskey. From beginning to end. As a blender, I'm doing everything from grain and yeast and planning to creating the final, whiskey that comes in the bottle. But
about.
when you talked about being, the only, I'm not currently the only, but I am the first African American whiskey blender. I started my role in 2015 as an intern. We talked about Jelani early in the beginning of your segment. I went to the university that he graduated from, Alabama A&M University. I studied food science, and then I started my master's, but got kind of bored. I tell everybody I was, trying to get my feet wet, see what was out there. So
Yeah.
I went to do an internship at Kettle Chips in Oregon, and then I found a blending role. I was like, okay, what? Now or never. Let's go try it and see how it works out. And 6 years later, here I am still making whiskey. It's been a fun journey. But yeah, that's Ebony Major in short.
But you ain't got to be short. We want it all. Like we want the whole story. Like, how did you become like? What made you say, "I'm gonna blend whiskey"? Like, like with me, right? So getting into bartending, it's something I always wanted to do. I didn't really know how to do it. I kind of fell into it. I was security at a couple nightclubs, and I fell into bartending. And now, once I saw like educational opportunities, and things like that, I furthered my career that way. How does one say, I'm just gonna blend and I'm gonna taste whiskey and I'm gonna make whiskey for the rest of my days for as long as you want to?
Look, I'm 30, so I ain't even finna tell you it's gonna be for the rest of my days. Let's get that straight. It's my passion, it's what I love to do. I'm amazing at it. But to say I'm gonna do something for the rest of my days, I don't think I've ever
Right.
stated that. Before taking this job, I used to work with kids. I was a nanny, worked at a daycare. I love kids. That's just who I am. And then deciding to be a blender was really, taking a risk. I felt like I was on a path to become a career student. I love being challenged. I love learning new things, and I get bored super, super easy. So when I found the blending role, got in there, it's 3 months into this role. Okay. 6 months in, I'm like telling my manager, all right, are you going to hire me full time or what? Because I got to make some decisions. So for me, it wasn't really until I got in the role, understood the role, that I decided, hey, I'm willing to do this for the rest of my life. That's kind of how
Right.
it happened.
Okay, word. So what's the day in the life of a blender look like? Like when you get to work, what's like that behind the scenes stuff that we
Yeah.
don't know? Because we just enjoy the juice when it comes out. So I
Yeah.
would love to see how do we get to that process to get it in the bottle.
You know what's funny is I always, because I be wanting to be appreciated. I'm gonna be honest about this part. I wake up and I sacrifice my stomach for y'all.
You
So
do,
I
yeah.
wake up, and if I decide to like smell whiskey that day, I can't cook or eat what I want to. I stick to a very strict diet. Now I'm at home now. I have been for the past year, so it's very different. When I was working, I ate the same things. I used to joke with people about how I'd have to like peel my orange the night before or cut it or ask a coworker to do it, because if I peeled the orange the same day, even 2-3 hours later, it would still be on my hands. So my typical morning would start off eating a strict breakfast, pouring samples. It could be anything from 30 to I don't know. You can do a lot of samples. So some of those would be distillate. Some of those would be mature. You know, the distillate is the clear stuff. It's the moonshine. It's the white dog. So every day, whatever the distillery was pumping out, we were tasting and smelling before it goes in the barrel to ensure that it was going to be the flavor we want it to be. Not a lot of people know that, you know, you can control flavors before it gets in the barrel. The barrel is the part where you cannot control. That's where I have zero control over what's going to happen because the tree grew how it wanted. It got cut down, got assembled. So as blenders, we're trying, well, you know, the way I was taught to do it was really try to optimize your flavor in the beginning. So we use our nose to smell and taste, and I can tell you if your whiskey is burnt, if it's you need to clean, if it's sour, if it's a lot of things I can tell by my nose. But because of that, I have a restricted, you know, no wearing perfume and stuff like that. So my typical day would be smelling those samples, and then lunchtime, you know, you eat whatever, and then in the evening you're working on innovation projects. You're working on a lot of different things. You're planning. As a whiskey blender, if I create a formula today, I have to make sure it's going to last 10 plus years. You know, I'm not creating a brand just for today. So there's a lot of just sitting and banging your head against Excel to make numbers work. That's what blending is. It's a lot of math.
Word. So like, who's been some of your, like, mentorship is a big thing that we've talked about a lot here on Brown and Balance. There's I have mine. I've had some of mine be guests on the show. Got a couple more coming in future shows. Like, who were some of the people that kind of helped guide your way into becoming, you know, I'm gonna say the best blender I know because you're the only blender I know. So you have to be the best that I know.
Yeah, really. As far as becoming a blender, I would say I mainly owe it all to my manager, Andrew Mackay, in a sense of blending is a very slow trajectory. It's a very slow roll. You're supposed to progress at a certain pace. And I came in like, screw that. we going. I ain't got no time to waste. And he just said, okay. You know, I said I wanted to try launching innovation projects. And I did that. I launched a barrel program. I released my own whiskey. I went and worked in the visitor center. I went and worked at the bottling line and quality management. Anything I said I wanted to do, he was like, go for it and learn. So he really allowed me to have the freedom to become the best blender. And that you can't really repay. Like just having the freedom to explore, to learn, because there's so much to know about blending. I think one of the things people don't understand is when you create a liquid, you have to know that liquid down to the season it was produced. Liquids change based on if you distilled it in spring or fall. You just can't say, oh, this is a 8-year-old liquid. Okay, well, what's the mash bill? What's the percentage corn? What's the percentage rye? And every little tweak you make changes the flavor. And for me, it's like magic. I feel like I create magic because it's hard to explain. It's difficult to do, but people really appreciate it when they taste it in the bottle.
Word. So being a young Black woman, you know, in the South, doing something that's really not for us, you know, even though I'm very sure back when most of the stuff that everybody enjoys was created, we were the ones doing the blending and all the other stuff because we were forced to do it. What's been some of the challenges that like you've had to overcome, you know, to becoming who again, the best I know, you know what I mean? What's some of the things you've had to do and how have you overcome it? Cause I know there's a young woman probably in the comments or watching that's looking at you like, I want to do what she does.
Girl, do it. If I could curse, I would, but forget it. Forget it. Just go after whatever. And the reason I say that is because there were barriers every single day. There are still barriers in this industry. I was working, you know, at a facility where I was the only Black person that you would see in the daytime for years. That was a struggle in itself, but the barriers of being a young, I started in this industry when I was 24. We're talking a young 24-year-old Black girl in a room full of old white men in Bardstown, Kentucky.
Yeah, the good old boys. Yeah.
Listen, you talking about some barriers. Like, no, yes, I'm here in the room. No, I'm not here to just take notes. I'm here to tell you what your whiskey tastes like and how to make it better. And that was hard. And I had to really, honestly, I had to get my manager, the same person we talked about, and get him to be an ally. I'm like, look, you see this? This ain't okay. You know, so there's a lot of things I think as young brown girls, I think I would have taken more credit. I would have taken more credit. A lot of people know me for creating one brand. They didn't know that I was creating everything in the US portfolio. Didn't know I was, you know, helping out, doing all those things. So I think as Black women, just take your credit more. Because like you said, here I am being acknowledged for being the first, and we don't know. Like our history has been erased. So I think just really doing better about taking whatever credit is yours is a piece of advice I would give.
Word. I love that. I love that. So how have you, and I hate this word, but I'm gonna use it because it fits. How have you pivoted with quarantine, with COVID? Like were you able to kind of pivot and still continue on your path as a blender?
Well, I am actually on a pause. And I think COVID and sorry, I'm getting a little shaky now. COVID and living in Louisville, Kentucky at the time of Breonna Taylor really changed my life. Trying to do all of that while working at a distillery where you don't see anybody that looks like you changed my life.
Yeah.
So it changed me. It made me, you know, do some very different things. It made me put my feet down. It made me say no. I said so many no's in this past year that has been the pivot. No, not good enough. No, I'm worth more. No, I don't want to do it. And right now, I'm really spending my days working on something for me and for what I want people to see. And I think that's the most exciting thing is that this pivot of what could have been a negative has allowed me to really shoot for the stars. I'm not in a position where I can really, you know, elaborate, but I'm really in a place where I am focused on consumers and education and really just like having these kind of conversations and letting people know blending has been kept this big myth for so long. It's really just talking about blending is and letting people know that there's opportunities.
Word. So what's next? I know you said you got something you're working on. What's next that you can tell us without, you know, giving away too much?
There's nothing I can look. I'm a blender, but I'm also a food scientist. You got to understand, as a food scientist, you're used to working on products for over a year until they get released. You don't tell something until you're ready to put it out there. But right now, I'm really just working on some consulting gigs. There are a lot of people out here who are creating whiskeys and buying up inventory and need somebody to help them blending. And that's what I'm doing in my part-time because I'm not ready to go. Because look, when I work, I work. I was blending, I was out in the market. When I work, I work. And when I'm ready to get back at 100%, you'll know.
Word. Say no more. I'm with it. Just make sure we get the exclusive. That's all I want. Just, you know what I mean? Give me the exclusive. So look, tell the people, for anybody out there that wants to reach out to you, learn more about blending, learn more about you, especially like I said, that young Black brown girl that's probably watching and thinking about it and not sure. I know somebody for sure who probably in the comments that wanted to get to meet you and get to know who you are. How could they find you and get in touch with you?
Yeah, right now I'm just on Instagram at Major and Whiskey. So reach out to me on there just to follow me and keep up with me and see what will, you know, come in the future.
Word. Well, Eboni, thank you for your time. Thank you for jumping on. I'm so happy to finally get you on the platform. It literally took one message between us,
right?
And here we are. So this is not the end. It's a whole lot more. We definitely gonna collab and work more in the future. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. You know, I was waiting for this moment. I'm excited to be right here with Brown and Balance. I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, like you said, this is just the start to you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, look, jump in the green room, hang out with the other guests. We're gonna bring another guest on in a minute, but before I do that, y'all already know what time it is. Campari community. You know what I mean? You got to do that. You have to get involved and get in tune. They have tons of education, tons of things going on, and then you need to get on that mailing list that's right below, man. But yo, shout out to Eboni, man. That's a really dope story. Like, again, she's the only blender I know, so default she's gonna always be the best. But she's a Black woman, and I'm always have her back, so she's gonna be the best to me, regardless. You know what I mean? So while we're doing that, we're gonna keep this Black girl magic rolling. We're gonna roll to our next guest. So our next guest, we went from the South. Now we're going up to one of my favorite cities. We're gonna go to DC. The first time I saw this young lady during quarantine, a bunch of really dope hospitality professionals, Black women, did like the Don't Rush, or I don't know how to do it because I ain't on TikTok and all that, but they did like the Don't Rush challenge, and I followed literally anybody who I didn't know that was in there. It was a bunch of friends, Lauren Paley, Brown and Bounce alum, Alicia Rochelle. It was just a bunch of people on there. Capri, Chocolate City's Best, shout out to them, and also Brown and Bounce alumni. And I just followed everybody. It's the first time I heard of Charismatic Creations, who was like just did amazing things in DC. So I'm looking through her Instagram. I'm like, she is dope. And the one good thing about quarantine was we were able to develop a little bit of rapport with each other. She took over the Brown and Balance channel. I can't wait to meet her in person, but this is going to be the next best thing. So without further ado, we're going to bring Miss Chrissy Sheffey on the screen, who's in the trap house right now doing her thing. You know what I mean? How you doing, love?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Josh? I'm super happy to be here.
Man, I'm good. This is like, we've been done this a few times. Like, you done took over my channel, had you all over the place. So it's only right to have you on the screen to tell everybody what you do. You've been everywhere in the last few months. I've been seeing you doing stuff with everybody, moving around. So just like I did with Eboni, I'm going to get out the way, tell your story, how'd you got in the industry, and how we got to where you got the trap house, warehouse,
Yes. So my name is Chrissy, and I own Charismatic Creations. I started Charismatic Creations in 2017 after I worked in the bar for 4 years. And it was just me wanting to like be in control of my income, be in control of like my trajectory, and also wanting to create a space where I'm fully Black. And as you know, as people know, when you start working in like the hospitality industry and like these white tablecloth restaurants, you sort of lose yourself. Your service is great, right? But you sort of lose who you authentically are. And I'm happy I moved outside of like the white tablecloth settings, but I had really, really great foundation with those because we always started off with like a lemon, lime, or citrus. So it was always fresh. And then I moved on. I don't know if you know the street, but U Street. I was on U Street for a long time, and I loved it a lot. But it was like I didn't really have much freedom because I would go into work. I worked on the weekends. I would go into work at 3 o'clock, and I would get off at 2 a.m. And it was like that was my weekend. And I was like, I don't really have much time to myself to explore some things that I love to do, which is like gardening or advocating or just things like that, volunteering, just having fun. I really didn't have much time to do that. So I was like, I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to buy a few tools and I'm going to get the ground running, and it got to shake. I don't care how this thing going to go. It's going to work. But I had a really great support system. So I'm going into, what is this? I'm not a mathematician. What is this? I'm like 4.5 years in.
Okay.
And it's been amazing.
So like, what is exactly Charismatic Creations? Like, I know because we talked, but like for everybody else, like, what are all the different components under that umbrella?
Yes. So we do mobile bar services. We bottle our own non-alcoholic mixers since 2018. And then during the pandemic, we started doing the bottle cocktails. So it started off as just wanting to provide this service for private corporate and social events. Like, I want to be able to create this experience for you at your event. But it has transformed organically into, like, I'll say like this boutique cocktail agency service in a way where if you need the bartender, we got it. If you need the non-alcoholic mix, we got it. If you need bottled cocktails, we got it. If you want us to curate an event for you, we got it. We curate our own events. So it's becoming this like one-stop cocktail shop, cocktail agency, cocktail whatever, and inclusiveness because our like mixers are non-alcoholic. So it's become something I didn't know it would be, but as I work on it every day, it's like this full circle of everything I want it to be, and it's still growing and it's still amazing. And I'm not done yet.
Word. I love the one thing I really do. I love your labeling and how you name your cocktails. I don't know if you have any near you could put on the screen, but like, what's your inspiration when you're doing that? Like, where do you draw from to get some of those?
Yeah, so I was not into like full storytelling until last year. I was asked to do the Back to Black pop up with AJ and Capri, and that was when my storytelling like came out of me. So the task was we had to curate a cocktail, tell a story behind it, and 100% of the proceeds would go to an organization that we wanted to donate to. And so I was like, wow, okay, I have to tap into myself to be able to tell the story. Mind you, I hadn't done it before that. And so, okay, so I came up with Flowers for Nazaki Shenge. And from that very moment, how I tied it into me being Lady in Green in high school, from the flavors and the spirits that I used and everything, I was just like, wow. I really tapped into me. People got to know me a bit more because I loved theater in high school. People got to know a lot about the spirits and the cocktails that I use and why I use those flavors. And I was just like, I can do this. And so ever since then, I started curating about 3 to 4 bottle cocktails a month. So I think I have about 35 different cocktails, and all of them are really linked to experiences in my life, whether it's like Macaulay Culkin, which no, he's not black, but as a kid, like Home Alone was
Yeah, Home
everything.
Alone.
You
Yeah,
know, I mean, Home Alone was everything. Or it's like Billie Holiday, who in I was like a theater geek in high school, and so I did like a 30-minute monologue about Billie Holiday, or like Selena, or just like Marion Barry. I did a cocktail for him, DC Mayor for Life. And so it's things that connect with me so people could get to know me a bit more. And then it's like they could get to know these people who I actually like a bit more. And then taste these different flavor profiles that I'm coming up with. I'm really flexing in these bottle cocktails. And it's been something I really love to do.
There it is. There it is. Super producer right on time. You know what I mean? Now this is really dope. So look, if you weren't in this industry, is it safe to say you'd be in theater?
No, no.
No.
I definitely wouldn't be in theater because, like, I don't know I wouldn't be in theater, but it was something that I really, really loved to
Sure.
do.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be in theater. I would be doing what I really loved while I was in college was politics. But I'm super happy I didn't get into that.
Yeah, especially where you live, yes. Because
Yes.
yeah, the last 4 years, been, but we ain't gonna do that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so like me not getting into that was literally because I needed a job in college, and I started cocktail waitressing, and then I became a bartender while I was in college. So this literally just completely changed my life, and it was just a job that I needed so I could buy some dresses from Forever 21.
I get it. Hey, I believe you. I mean, that's the one thing I love about us. And when I say us, I mean black people in this industry that are making a lot of moves. The theme is always like we all have very humble beginnings. Like, I tell people all the time, this industry saved my life. I was on the block. You know what I mean? And then I fell into a security job, and then I fell into a bar job, and now look at the things that we're all doing from that. So those home beginnings is why we all go so hard. Why you always see us all over Instagram and social media and promoting what we do and talking about what we do. I just
And I
thank
love that though.
yeah,
I love it because we were the first mixologist. So for us to be able to come back into this and re-image it and change it to something that we want makes me super happy because at one point telling your parents that you were a hospitality that you worked in a restaurant was not something that they were super excited about. But to be able to be like, I'm a hospitality professional and my niece and nephew's school asked me to do career day, that's like, what?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like this is a viable source of income. This can be a career. It's not just something you do while you're in college, or something you do while you trying to become an actor or something like that. Like you can really do this and there's other avenues from just being behind the bar as you showing Ebony shows, if I'm showing and everybody else that we surround ourselves with. There's so many other things we can do and still be involved in this industry. So like for you, what same question I asked Ebony. Like, what would you tell? Like, everybody nowadays is a mobile bartender, right? Like, I remember I
Yeah.
was doing it back in 2007 here in Chicago. It was kind of unheard of. There's a few of us out here, but it wasn't a lot. But now I look on the gram, like everybody that bartends at any place is a mobile bartender now. What makes you stand apart from everyone else in the DC MDVA area?
For me, I'm about my business. So while I am a creative, I can't create if my business isn't in order. And so while it's fun to make drinks, it's fun to provide an experience for people, but if you don't have systems in place, you're unorganized, you don't know how to provide the amazing service, you don't know how to like just come as your full hospitality self, and be a creative because your business isn't in order. So for me, I always tell people I'm about my business.
Absolutely.
And like, as far as like trademarking and contracts, like if that's not in order, I'm not doing it. And so for me to be like, I'm going to trademark my business because this is something that obviously I believe in, but like imitation is not flattery to me. I don't need anything that looks like Charismatic Creations out here because that's my bread and butter. So I am 100% strictly about my business, and also for me, I'm gonna show up who I am all the time. Like I don't know a lot of Black women with froze in the industry right now, and I mean, I love my sneaker. That's all about me too.
Yeah, I've been peeping. I'm like, there's a few people that really get down on the skis in this game. You know what I mean? But I see you. Trust me, I see you.
I'm gonna wear my fly sneakers while I'm mixing some great drinks, because non-slips are kind of ugly. So when you come to me, and you also know I'm about like fresh ingredients, and I'm about Black and brown farmers. Period. I'm very, very intentional about buying that stuff. Like I do not cut corners with that because now they're a part of my community. Right. Like I make sure that I curate a community around me, and my Black and brown farmers are a part of that. So it's really, really, really intentional when it comes to that.
I just got a great idea. We got to get you and Kiata together, and we need to do a Simple Paradise Garden and a Charismatic Creations. We need to put that together. Don't worry about it.
He's doing some really great stuff down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a call. We need to put y'all together. I can just imagine how dope that would be with what both of you bring to the industry, to the streets, to everything. Like y'all both are amazing at what you do. So how can people find you? How can people get at you? You know what I mean? I'm gonna start sending you sneaker pictures of mine when I go buy shoes. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So how can people get to you?
So you all can find me at Charismatic Creations on Instagram, Charismatic Creations LLC on Facebook, and charismaticcreationsevents.com.
Hey, I appreciate you, Chrissy, and I love that shirt. I know the guy who made that shirt. I love that shirt you got on. You know what I mean? Kind of dope. Kind of dope.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that love as well. I got to go ahead and put me an order in at Charismatic Creations. Give me some stuff here at the house. You know what I mean? For Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? So you ship to Chicago, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You say no more. It'll be an order coming through this weekend, man. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Have a good one.
I was like, we family. It's all Brown and Balance family. So I appreciate you. All right. So Black girl magic, y'all. I mean, Black woman magic, whatever you want to call it. Brothers, young brothers out there that's listening, surround yourself with dope Black women. I don't think if you watch all our episodes of season 1 and season 2, they are dominated by amazing Black women. And trust me, the more amazing Black women you have around you and in your life, the better off you will be. Guaranteed, trust me, you can stamp it because your Uncle Josh said it. All right, so now we got to get to the featured bartender. Now, this is an episode. This featured bartender we got this month. Some of you know him, some of you don't. I met this brother like in 2010, something like that, 2010. 2011. It's my dog, man. We met each other down at Tales of the Cocktail in New Orleans. It was a brief, and at that time, like I said, it wasn't that many Black people going to Tales of the Cocktail like that. It was a brief, hey, what's up, dog? Hey, what's up, bro? Kept it moving, and then we became friends on social media, and we would talk back and forth about family and kids, and to this day, never talked about cocktails. And I can honestly say, before this interview starts, because it depends on how this interview goes, is actually one of my closest friends in life. Is one of my best friends. Is my brother for real. F the industry, you know what I mean? Like if we were truck drivers, I feel like we would have the same relationship. If we were garbage men, whatever we did, we would have the same relationship. So without further ado, reluctantly, I'm gonna bring my brother, Gene Samuel, on the screen. Thank God he's muted. And he wouldn't be, of course, Gene wouldn't be on screen when I bring him on the screen. He can, hey, you're muted, bro. You're muted.
I'm just messing with you, homeboy. What's up?
He wouldn't be on screen, right? Like, it wouldn't be a real friendship. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Blessings, blessings. What's up, world? How y'all doing?
Hey, look, just so y'all know, man, this is the other half of man, everything doing my brother, man. How you doing today, man? You all right?
Man, I'm good. I'm up. I'm grateful. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see everybody. Let's talk some smack. What's going on?
Man, you haven't seen me. You just video called me right before the interview, dog. And I was like, we're gonna be on screen in a minute, bro. We could do all that talk.
I did.
And I talked to you yesterday. And I think I'll talk to you every day this week.
Yeah, and you don't like doing that because sometimes Josh won't talk to me for 3 straight weeks. I didn't talk to him last week when he broke his pinky toe and he had a boot on his foot. Actually, to be honest, everybody, I want to give a shout out to Josh. He recovered. He did mess his leg up. He had corn surgery because he's old, so his feet are all messed up. So he had a boot on last week.
See, now look, normally I don't drink during these, but I knew for this episode, I need to bring some wild turkey, some 101 out real quick.
Hey, guess what? I talked to Lynn last night.
You finally got to talk to Lynn?
Social media, yeah, we were texting each other.
Good. We're going to get to that part, man. Tell everybody, Gene Samuel, how you got in this game, how you got to where you are now, man. I mean, I know the story. I know all the bad movies you've been in. I know you're a horrible actor.
You're stupid.
What else, man? I mean, I know you are a male entertainer. I know all that stuff about you, but everybody else does not know. So please tell them who you are, bro.
See, I like how you threw that last shot in there because you're gonna have my phone blowing up. Mama, if you're watching, you already knew what I was doing back in college.
Mama, he was shaking her ass for cash. That's just what it was. But tell everybody else.
Listen, I was an entertainer first and foremost, and I was very good at entertaining. And that's actually how this story begins. I was entertaining at the world famous Olympic Garden that is no longer around because now I work here at the Crazy Horse 3. Got to give a shout out to the Crazy Horse 3. They always say I don't rep them enough in public, like I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I am there for adult fun. Come see me anytime y'all in town. Come see me at Crazy Horse 3. Back to the story. So I'm working at the OG a very long time ago as a DJ and dancer there. Yes, I was. I am not ashamed to admit it. I was amazing. One of the best on the West Coast. I kind of got tired of dancing and I needed to figure some things out. I had already went to LA and did my Hollywood thing, and I had already came back because I reluctantly got married for the first time. That was stupid. Now I got my beautiful wife, Valerie, who supports everything I do. She's a good woman. We got together, and the Chippendales called me, actually. They called. They were looking for a black dude to join the show at first, and I was going to go on tour, and I was still married at the time. And my first wife was like, no, don't go. You're going to cheat on me. Don't go on tour. So I didn't go on tour. And as soon as I didn't go on tour and the plane took off, me and my first wife got divorced. I'm like, this is great. You just cost me $40,000 for like 6 weeks, but whatever. Me and my beautiful woman now, we were dating and getting to know each other. We were laying in bed one day and it just hit me like a thunderbolt. I want to be a bartender. It still affords me the ability to kind of be on stage and give people the best of me. And so I started pursuing that career. I thought about bartending school. I was out. And then all of a sudden I get a call from Chippendales. And Chippendales said they were looking for a guy to do back bartending work. I went in with interview. I had my shirt off because they wanted to see what we look like without our shirt on. I got the job. This was at the Rio Hotel. Yes, they made me take my shirt off for an interview. Just letting everybody know that in America, they do that to guys too. And I got the job. And when I got the job there, this bald, round white man with this big smile on his face was doing all the cocktails in the room. Bobby G. Gleason, that's my daddy right there. That's my man, Pots and Pans. Bobby G showed me with his meticulous care and his enthusiastic attitude, he showed me what being in hospitality was all about. I got to follow him around the casino of the Rio Hotel, watch him make drinks for the president, vice president, for Prince, everybody, celebrities. He was a ball of joy, and nobody had a bad word to say about Bobby. And so I wanted to be just like that. And so I just started learning and getting into it, man. And that was how my start was.
Word. So how far in were you when we met? Because when we met, that was like I said, 2010, 2011, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 2010, 2011. I was here in Vegas. People knew me. I ran the M Resort. I was the head bartender of the M Resort at Veloce Lounge, and that was 08, 09, I believe. 2010, I was heading up the Mastro's program over at Crystals, Mastro's Ocean Club at Crystals. And that's around then I started chopping it up with Natalia Mendoza of Herbs and Rye, and we were supposed to be heading to Tails. And so that's when me and you started clicking up, was right there when I was between Mastro's and Hard Rock.
Word.
Hard Rock.
I'm glad you brought up Neck, man. One of the OGs out there in Vegas, man.
Yeah, shout out to the captain out there doing his thing, man.
Like
Still doing it.
One of the super OGs, man. Being in Vegas, like Vegas is like a melting pot, right? Like it's a city that, from what I know of it and understand, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Like, but most people don't like live in. They come to Vegas and they end up building their family there. Is that correct or not?
No, that's a stupid question, by the way.
I'm asking, dog. I need to know. There's no stupid questions, but the questions.
Just stupid people. I'm just playing with you, baby booby. No, people come to Vegas, and I tell people one thing about Las Vegas when you move here. Las Vegas is 99-0. You ain't gonna beat it. So don't come out here thinking you're gonna take over Vegas. You're gonna show Vegas how Chicago does it. You're gonna show Vegas how LA does it. You're gonna show Vegas how New York does it, because we'll run your ass out of here. We do it all the time.
But even in being that, man, you were, until I met Jackie, and now that Mayanda's out there and a few Joy's out there, there weren't many brown bartenders in Vegas, man. So how'd you stake your name and really influence that scene? Again,
I'll tell you, to be honest with you, it wasn't about being black at that time, because this black empowerment in our hospitality is still fairly new. Let's keep it 100. It's still fairly new. Mm-hmm. So when I was doing it in Vegas, because Vegas, again, being a melting pot, it didn't really matter what your color was. It mattered what you had in your mouth, and what mattered what you had in your pocket. If you had a mouthpiece, if you had money, then that played heavy in Vegas, because everybody here on the same hustle: get your bread, get your bread, get your bread. But when it came to being a vocal point person in Vegas for the beverage scene, me and Natalie kind of started throwing stuff on our back. Like I was promoting Herbs and Rye with him. That was his business, and we hustled that. I was still making a name for myself, bartending, hustling that. But then I got with a clique over at Gordon Ramsay over at Caesars. Shout out to the squad over there, the Swigavino brothers, me, Adam O'Donnell, Jose Salinas, and then my beer goon, Keith Garcia. Then I had Ramon, we had Christian, and Raul Ferry. I can't shout out my brother Raul and Adam Rains. We had the best bar team in the city, and I was kind of like the mouthpiece of the bar. You know me, yak, 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 yak. So I was the mouthpiece of it, but I could hold my own with them drinks. So we were doing cocktail competitions all through the city. I would host cocktail competitions. I was the mouth of the South for the most part, but I started putting myself out there, like, hey, you know what? What about me? Why not me? How come I can't do it? Let me show you why I can do it. And so I knew that the greatest part of me, my attributes, was my mouth game. If you put a microphone in my hand, which is a hammer to me, I'm going to destroy and slay the whole stage. I gets down like that. So when I'm talking to people, plus making a cocktail that I know is going to be good, I'm untouchable. So that's how I kind of put my name out there.
Word. You mentioned my sister, you mentioned Val, shout out to sis. Love the kids and all that, man. How are you with that Vegas, man, that Vegas life, man? Like I know how you work, you know what I mean? I know how you worked in the past. How you balance that out?
Well, I'll tell you.
Father, you know what I mean? And still trying to be, like I said, being active kids, wrestling, traveling, doing all their things. Like, how are you balancing that out, bro? Like, what's something that you can give someone else, you know what I mean? Some jewels.
You got to have a beautiful woman on your arm that will allow you to express yourself the right way outwardly, and also know that you're going to come home at night because you're doing the most for that family. You have to have a strong foundation first and foremost. To everybody out there, listen, a bad relationship is a dream killer. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If you are a young lady out there and you want to travel the world and learn more about spirits, wine, and you have a man that's talking about, what about me? Why are you not helping me? What about me? He's not there for your dream. My wife pushes my goals sometimes more than I do. When I don't have breath in my lungs, she's the oxygen I need to keep me going and going further. If y'all don't have that start, everything else is not going to work. And that doesn't have to be with a relationship with a man or woman or what have you. It could be your best friends pushing you to go forward. It could be your boss, your mentor. A lot of men and women out there are not told by their bosses that they're doing a good job a lot, or I'm proud of you, or keep it going. Those things help. Those things help. Those things help. I didn't get a lot of that coming up. I had to do that for myself. One thing is I'm self-made for sure. You know it. You self-made. This is another reason why you and I click up. We hustle hard together. We are self-made. But I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes when you see me out there partying, I'm networking. And my wife knows that. And I had to tell my kids that when they were like 9 months old, they were bouncing in the crib. It was like 3 a.m. And I just came in from work and I had to run back out to go do a party. And I was like, you know, you guys aren't going to understand this now, but daddy's not going to always be here. You know, but just always remember daddy's out there hustling for you. And I told them that and they were just bouncing. They don't understand it, but that was my heart speaking to them. Like, I'm out here hustling for you too. And I won't stop until you are comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't stop until my kids are comfortable. Like I wake up in sweats thinking about how I'm broke or what else I can do to put my brand forward to benefit them. Yeah. Every shine I get is for something else. Yeah. Anything I do with my mouthpiece or the gift that God has given me is for something else. It's not for me, it's for them. Men and women, the reason why we can do this, and this is, for me, it's anthropology. We're hunter-gatherers. We're supposed to be out there toiling in the midnight hour, and it hurts. It hurts to be away from my kids, dog. It hurts. I cry all the time. Sometimes I'm at work and my daughter, her face just pops up in my head. And I just, thank God for social media because I can scroll through and I get to look at her face every once in a while or a cute video. You know, sometimes Jean's words will pop in my head and I hustle harder when I'm at work. But I ache. I miss him all the time. When I'm in Chicago with you, I've called him every night. When I was at home, when I was when I was in Georgia visiting my sister, I called him every night. When I was at every camp with you, Puerto Rico, Kentucky, I called my babies every night. When we were having a great time in them jungles, everybody's like, hey, let's have some more fun. No, I'm getting emotional. I got to go call my babies. You know, that's my love.
Real talk, man. I'm glad you brought up Camp. Hey, shout out to Isla and Jean, niece, nephew, love y'all.
Itchy and scratchy, baby.
My homies, man. Isla especially, that's my homie. That's my G, man.
She's a savage.
He ain't rock with me at first, but she a goon, so that's why me and her got along real good at first, man. But yo, speaking of that, man, shout out again to Lush Life. Lush Life is the platform that allowed me to be able to take my ideas and
Lindsay, I hope you're healing well. I love you.
They put their money where their mouth was, and now we can do things like this. Talk about them camp experiences. You went to camp before me. I've told the story of me at camp because we didn't know each other that good before that. So I'm gonna let you tell that little gem of how we, really got close, man.
So the first year I went to camp, me and Natalie Mendoza from Herbs and Rice. Shout out to Cleaver Herbs one more time. We were at camp together. I think he had went a year prior. I'm not certain, but I went with him the second year, and I thought I was going to be a Nomi. I thought I was going to be the first black Nomi. Blow me, but I wasn't. So they gave me my boy Eric job. They gave me a camp with him. He had a seizure the day before, so they didn't know he was even going to make it. And then he showed up. Real talk, he's crazy like that. And we just got down there. We got partied. And I made myself as accessible as I could, but it was a lot of excitement, a lot of things popping in the air. So my neurons was firing. So I didn't get to lock in as tough as I wanted. So I gave it a go again the next year. And I think Lindsay saw me just hustling around the city, coming to all the events that she was throwing. Yep. And she's like, you should sign up to be a counselor. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm dope. I can do it. I said the F word.
You did. It's all good.
It's all good. I got you.
You still said it less than Giuseppe.
Did.
Shout out to Giuseppe, though.
Don't shout out Giuseppe no more. He's whack. Giuseppe's whack. Giuseppe is no longer a top 5 bartender in the U.S. He done gave up that title. The old lion is now out to pasture. He is not one of us anymore. If you top 5 dead or alive, you got to holler at your boy Jeannie Jean because he's out. He's gone. He's whack. Dude, he don't talk about nothing important. He's out of here. He don't even like having coffee no more. That dude is on a water and saline solution. That boy is done. Get him out of here. Hey, Giuseppe Gonzalez is no longer your East Coast mentor. I am global. I'm national. Holler at your dog. I got you. Whatever advice you need, I got you. Giuseppe Joey Gonzalez, I got you.
He's gonna send me in a minute.
He's not gonna send you jack squat. That boy is in love. He's done. He's talking about the Mets, the Knicks. That's all he wants to talk about. On to the next subject.
All right, get back to camp, man. So the next
year. Back to camp. So then I'm down at Tails again, and Lindsay's there, and we are at Battle of the Bars because, again, Herbs is doing big things out there, so I'm there helping and doing what I do. And me and her are having a drink, and she's got this look on her face. I said, what? She says, she's the elder one. I got something for you. Like, what? She says, one of your campers. This is going to be dope. Like, who is it? She's like, nah. She's like, it's shit. Hey, she's like, you're going to be so happy. I'm like, who is it? So I'm screaming, and I'm running around. I lose my voice. And she didn't tell me. And so then when the list came out, I text you right away. Like, I was like, is this the shit? I said, is this it? She goes, yeah, that's it. And I text you. And I was like losing it. I was tasty pudding, homie. I was good to go. And so that was my camp experience was good. It was a familial feeling. that last day of camp, you really don't want to go home because that it's kind of like I think it's like a science experiment. If you force people to be in a group under unreal circumstances, there's a bond that's going to be formed. And if you rip that apart within like 6 or 7 days, it can form a long lasting bond. I still talk to Eric Job to this day, and all of my campers as well. So I tell everybody, no matter what you are, what you is, what you want to be, go to camp. Go to camp. Go to adult sleepaway camp. It's phenomenal.
Nah, camp was dope, man. Camp actually that brought me and you together. Lindsay definitely fixed it so that we were in the same cabin. You was my counselor, man, and it helped.
Yeah.
We got generations of campers because of things we did. That session of 2015.
Yeah, and shout out to Eric Bennett too, one of the first, man. That's the general right there, man.
So I was getting to, man. Yeah, that's what I was getting to, that black bartender photo that we did at camp. And at the time, that was unheard of, right? To have something like that happen. And it was me, you, Eric, Nigel.
Yeah.
Like we all, it was really dope. But
Aaron.
It was 7 of us, what I'm saying? And to see what camp has grown with black and brown bartenders, to see where the country now, where it's people, like I said, I haven't met Chrissy or Eboni in person yet. And I can't wait for all of us to link in person and get together. But that one moment, you know what I mean? So shout out to Lindsay and then shout out to you as well for making me, because I wasn't comfortable at first. It took me like 3 days to get comfortable. Like
I had to grab you, dog. I had to grab you. Come here, dog.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it like at all. I was like, this ain't for me, dog. I'm not this guy. I'm not gonna do all this little silly stuff. I'm not doing it.
But you got to remember, that's exactly the science of it. Because on the 3rd day is when the jungle music hit and everybody's fancy free.
Yeah,
because everybody walks on. If you haven't been there, like if you saw how I was acting, me and Brett and me and everybody else was jumping in each other's arms, being goofy as all hell. You like, what is this boy doing with all these pasty skinned fools? Like they're carrying me away like I'm their leader and like, hey, Gene's here. And I'm hanging out. We're over here having powder fights, weirdo stuff. Yeah. You're like, man, this ain't for me, dog. I'm from Chicago. I don't know if you know what we do in Chicago. So I understood that. But day 2, you high-fiving a couple people, you handshaking, you doing your best, beast mode, saluting everybody. But then on the 3rd day, we start getting the drums going, the nights kicking in. I'm gonna do that conga. You was feeling good. You started shaking your shoulders. By midnight, your heavy arm hit me in the shoulder. You know what you said to me when you looked at me?
I know exactly what
I said. Eyes and sincerely said what?
I'm drunk.
That's
I was like, I'm drunk, but I'm loving this. Like
that's
this
exactly what you said.
But this is dope, man. And then
I told you, hey, you're drunk, but we got to go take care of Blaze.
Yeah, because he
sobered up.
He was drunker. Yes.
Yeah. We can't talk about what Blaze did, but Blaze, my little brother, that's my heart right there. He's my man. Hey, so I'm 6 feet deep. I love you, Blaze.
Yeah,
that was a good
dude.
You,
Blaze, Blake, the whole IMC, man. I love you boys, man. I wouldn't, without that experience, like I said, shout out to Lindsay and them for putting camp together, one. But shout out to you for being a dope counselor, because you helped me be a better counselor, the next years when I came back and formed. Yeah. We wouldn't be here. Brown and Balance wouldn't be happening without that experience.
And that's all due to the roots, man, the foundation, man. Yeah. Lindsay had a great product, and I am forever grateful for the experience I had. I'm still waiting for Cognac Camp. I know that's coming soon, or Scotch Camp. I'm still waiting for that. Irish Whiskey Camp. I know that's coming.
There's some things in the pipeline, man. We'll work it out. But speaking of camp, my favorite distillery visit to camp is always Wild Turkey, and you created a really dope Wild Turkey cocktail, man, for the featured bartender and the featured drinker this month. Break it down to me, man. Let's talk about the Jive Turkey.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you got the ingredients up.
So this you didn't know what it was. You copy and pasted the drink. That's what it was.
It's not. That's all. That's what we do, man. First and foremost, any bartender worth his salt can conceptualize an amazing cocktail and just tweak it. So if you are about your business as a cocktailian, this is how we do it. I always start with the base. I start with a theme. I start with a season. I start with aromatics. And so this one is just a play on a whiskey sour. So as you see, the wild berry jam played into a springtime setting with the honey syrup as well, and the orange cream citrate. Shout out to Ryan Maybe out of Kansas City. He turned me on to orange cream citrate, and I almost use that for everything. When I finish this cocktail off with the nutmeg, it just does aromatics all come together, and this quenches your thirst perfectly. And so I'm really happy that I got to present this cocktail to you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Wild Turkey, one of my favorites. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Get this off the screen. That's enough. Thank you.
How you tell a super producer, man, what to do, dog?
Hey, dog, he's producing you.
This ain't
This is
your
a
show,
collaboration.
All right, man. Look, before we get you out of here, man, coming up on an hour. Black Tiger Barbecue, man. Let's talk about our business with you, Sam, and the homies, man. You know, this is our thing. This is something that we already, you know, I brought my flavor to it. And man, let's just talk about it, man. Let's get into people what we do, Beach Feast, the Helen David Relief Fund, all the different things that we're doing out in Vegas, and now, you know, knock on wood, in 2022 beyond.
Boom. Seriously, guys. So every Super Bowl Sunday, or you can't really say Super Bowl, you got to say big game. So it's called the Big Game Beast Feast, but we broke it down to Beast Feast. We do it here in Las Vegas. I want you all to come out if you can. You can ask any of the homies, any of our brand reps, any of our locals. It's a great local event. It's for us. It's by us. Josh is one hell of an MC. This all goes for the Helen David Relief Fund, which benefits cancer relief for women or men or anyone who has been affected with cancer and breast cancer in our bar community. And it is a national initiative by Tony Abou-Ganim. His aunt was Helen David, and it's a phenomenal event. November 1st, coming up. It's the Helen David Relief Fund bike ride here in Las Vegas. You still have time to donate. We'd love all your donations. Any little bit can help. Cancer has touched all of us, man, on a serious note. As you know, one of my best friends, Danielle Quintana, my sister, she passed away. She was actually a beneficiary of the Helen David Relief Fund a few years back. You actually got to meet her at that at the gala. And I tell you, man, she was pure joy. She's an angel on my side right now. I talk to her every day. My wife talks to her every day. I wish. And she was a phenomenal bartender at Nobu here at Caesars. She was outstanding. And I can take pride in that because her and I worked closely to make sure she was the best professional she could be. And I miss her every day. She was one of the greatest young women I had ever met. She's actually strengthened my belief in God that I will see her again one day. So shout out to everybody out there that loved Danielle, that knew her, to my Las Vegas family, to her Las Vegas family, to the Nobu family. She was amazing, and I'm going to keep her memory alive. And so is Tony Abou-Ganim. We have something big coming up for the Tag Awards coming up in 22. Y'all can't wait. Danielle, your memory is going to keep going, sis. I can't wait to share that with the rest of the world soon.
Word. All right, man. Hey, look, dog. I appreciate you, bro. Like, you know, we talk crazy. We joke back and forth between each other. You know, that's that brother kind of thing. I'm a couple months older than you, so you know, hey. I'm gonna be your big brother forever, man. But no,
big. You are a second older than me.
Whatever, but I'm still older. Let me.
You're not an elder. You're not an elder. You are older.
What I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, dog.
You make it seem like you just became a wise man with sage and myrrh.
Hey, you know I'm gonna have Dave, right? Like just take you off the screen, right? You know that, right?
Dave likes me already.
No, on the real though, bro. Like, let me finish what I'm saying, because I don't do this, but I'm gonna do it live in front of everybody, man. I appreciate you. I know you always give me flowers. You always bigging me up and all that. Look, you making me and helping me to also become a better man, because you're giving me an example of someone who has the things that I want. You're married. You have a great family. You have that foundation right there. And that's something that I'm working towards and working to in life. So for all the props you give back to me, I just want to give it back to you. You're showing me that you can be in this industry, you can have that family setting the way you have it, still be successful, not fall to a lot of pitfalls and the traps and the little stupid shit that goes on. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, fam. Like, I just want to put that out there, let you know all the work you're doing in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? You are the black face in Vegas. You and Jackie Klein. Shout out to Jackie Klein. We'll have him at Brown & Brown's Las Vegas soon. But you're the black face to the West Coast for me. You opened the doors on the West Coast for me, because I didn't know nobody out there like that until I met you. Met Tony, met Neck, met all the homies out there. So from that, man, I would take my hat off, but I ain't been to the barbershop. You know, I ain't gonna be looking crazy online.
I know. I love you, brother.
I love you, dog. For real, I love you. I always was like a no new friends type of dude. I got my homies. You came to Chicago, you saw it's about 8 dudes around me. That's it.
I was doing yoga darn near naked in his front yard.
You were. I had to tell my neighbors, like, he's okay. Don't shoot him. He's okay. He's all
right. They like me.
Yeah, you cool. But I'm just saying, bro, like,
I told you I was gonna be safe out there. I told you. You know, hey, it's a real dangerous city out here, boy. You ain't gonna be all right.
Hey,
I came out there and did yoga.
What I'm saying to you is, dog, I appreciate you because, you know, I can honestly say you're my real friend. Fuck the industry. I know I ain't supposed to curse, but it is what it is. Because a lot of times in our industry, We find people because we're black, we all get kind of scooped together.
Sure.
And just because we're black, we all get grouped together, and everybody feels like everybody's supposed to be just so kumbaya. And sometimes attitudes and personalities don't always mix. But I can say from day one, yours and mine did. I appreciate you. I'm glad for this friendship. And more black men need to express that to their friends.
Yes, sir.
You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? And I just wanted to put it out there in front of everybody. We talk about personally, but now I'm saying it in front of everyone. So I really appreciate the friendship, the brotherhood, and all that other. I'm going to call you a BAN when we get offline.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
To all my sisters out there, to all my brothers out there, hug each other, love each other, man. Health is wealth. Look a brother, look another king in the eye, look another queen in the eye, and just say, hey, I love you. If you don't know them, just hey, I love you right here. Just keep it there. Keep it there.
Talk. All right, tell everybody how to find you, Duke.
Hey, I'm at Crazy Horse 3. I got my own room up there now every Friday and Saturday, 10 p.m. up in Posh. Come see me. I'm up there making the dopest cocktails. It's loud music, beautiful women. Hey, if you turn your back and you start talking to a young lady, I can't help you. You're on your own. Hey, me and you face forward. I got you. You turn your back and she says, hi, how are you? And he says, hey, we got a lot in common. No, you don't, but she got you. I can't help you there. So do what you got to do. We have great tacos there. I'm usually Taco Tuesday as well. Come see us at Crazy Horse. It's phenomenal. It's fun. I love it. Also, Black Tiger Barbecue is making another run at it. So again, Beast Feast, February, or the first Sunday of February, Super Bowl. Come down, party with us. His donations go to the Helen David Relief Fund. Josh and Raul are the MCs. Me and Sam, we are barbecuing our butts off. Sam is my pit master. He's dope. I need all of you guys to come out for that. It's going to be a great time, I promise. Wow.
You notice your business partners are both from Chicago, right? You didn't notice that, right?
I don't care.
I'm just letting you know that. I just in case you didn't know. Both your business partners, me and Sam, both from and in the same area in Chicago.
Right. And my business partner's boss from Kansas City living in Las Vegas. Get you some.
Man, I appreciate you, dog. Thank you for being the featured bartender. This is long overdue. I wanted to make you my first guest, but you know.
I love you, man. You're my dog. JoJo, I love you, boy.
Hey, shout out to my son, JoJo, and all that. All right, look, before me and you get to all this bromance.
I love you, Lynn.
Hey, everybody's going to come back on screen. If Chrissy and Ebony still in the back, we bring everybody up. What up? Chrissy in the trap, she moving weight, dog. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah,
she's
moving weight. Doing something legal.
Moving pounds.
Look, I don't need my neighbors. What J. Cole said? Nah.
Yeah, they do.
I don't want my neighbors to think I'm selling dope.
Hey, it's dope in the bottle. That's what it is. Just gave me an idea.
I like that.
Let me not say that no more until I cop trademark it.
I mean, look, I'm telling you.
I just got a real good idea right there.
I heard that. That's dope. I heard that. I heard it.
Yeah, you heard me. We ain't gonna say it no more though. But no, before we ever get out of here, I always like to bring everybody else back up. I guess Ebony had the dip, which is all good. She's amazing. Give final thoughts. Anything you want to leave the people with, Chrissy? By all means, you first, and we'll move to the back.
Yeah. So honestly, continue to move in the industry with tenacity and be authentic to yourself. Even when things are slow, when you stay true to why you started, I'd rather win the race in the long run instead of being hyped and then losing because I'm gassed.
Word. Gene.
Hey, I'll piggyback on that. Hey, this is a marathon, not a sprint. The marathon continues. Find yourself some allies, everybody. Find friends and family and friends that you turn into family in this business. It's very important. You cannot be an island unto yourself because you will have nobody visiting that island. Hey, you can do it. Do it from the heart because you can't teach soul. I love you.
Word. Hey, before we do it, I'm going to leave you like this, man, to piggyback on both of them, man. Know your worth. Know your worth. Do not take the first offer ever. And do not negotiate your prices. Your price is your price. And as the big homie Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's. All right? With that being said, we'll see y'all on November 19th.
Cryptocurrency.
We got a killer coming on November 19th.
Buy SHIB.
Lindsay Sennard from Cleveland will be our featured bartender on that. We got some dope guests lined up. We'll have fun. So tune back in. And with that being said, we out.